I'm back, and this is the last vlog for my countdown, my top 13 of 2013. Can you believe it? We're already on number one. Number one, yay! It's been a crazy year, and I've been counting down with you my top 13 moments, and we're already at number one. So, I mean, we can recap real fast, but I don't know if I remember them all. I mean, I know everything that I said, but I don't remember, like, the specific order. Maybe. I don't know. But let's not waste time. So, let's get right down to it. Number one. My best moment of 2013, possibly of my lifetime. That's, it's really possible. So, it was when I was Worldwide Girl. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? I was Worldwide Girl. I still can't believe it. And it happened, it was August 10th, 2013, summer break tour in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the Target Center. And I still can't believe it happened. And that was like 4.5-ish months ago. I don't know. So thinking back, like, to the beginning of the summer break tour, I, like, maybe the third or fourth-ish show, I started saying to everyone, I was like, guys, Logan's gonna pick me to be Worldwide Girl. If I get picked, it's gonna be Logan. And because Kendall hates me, and Court's rolling her eyes, and, like, I wasn't really sure if James and Carlos remember me or not, but I was like, Logan definitely remembers me. He's always looking at me, and he's gonna pick me. I know it. And sure enough, Logan picked me. I still can't believe it. So, the whole story from the beginning is we went to Minneapolis and we had VIP that day, and we had Circle Pass, me and Court, so we took 2 pictures with them. One was just a normal smiley picture, and the other one was our cell phone picture. That was really, that was pretty funny. But yeah, so we had, and then we were sitting in the second row, like dead center in the second row. Like the row went all the way across the whole arena, and we were in the middle where the aisle would have been. So we were like dead center. So we were there, and I knew that Logan was going to be picking that night. So I had our sign. Well, I had 4 signs. You gotta be prepared. You never know who's going to be picking. So we had a sign with each one of their names on it. And by 4 signs, I mean 2 signs, but they're front and back. So 4 signs. So I knew Logan was going to be picking. I just knew it. So I put the Logan sign, like, in front on the chair in front of me. So then, because the people in the front row obviously move all the way up to the barricade. So I put it on the chair so, like, he could see it all night. Courtney held it up too in the beginning, but I'm not sure if he saw it then or if he saw it just, like, kind of hanging out there all night. I didn't hold it up the whole time because I know people get upset when you have signs up and they're behind you and you can't see, so I didn't want to be rude, you know. But anyway, but then when they started talking about Worldwide, I held my sign up. Here's my sign. It says, Logan, pick this Jersey girl. Because that's me, I'm a Jersey girl. And I held it up like this. Because it's supposed to be an arrow. It's supposed to be an arrow, but it's weathered. We've used it quite a lot. We started using these on the Big Time Summer Tour. So they're well traveled. So yeah, I have this. And Courtney insists that it's her sign.
It is my sign.
It's not her
You
sign.
have the Kendall and James sign.
Hey.
Mine is the Logan and Carlos sign.
Ask Courtney who made all the signs. Courtney, who made all the signs?
We don't need to discuss that. But they were made for me to hold.
Yeah, but that was when we made them when there was 4 people picking. When there was only one person picking, we didn't discuss it, but we had an verbalized agreement, unspoken, that's the word I'm looking for, unspoken agreement that I would be Worldwide Girl, not Courtney.
Unspoken.
Come on. She was holding up, at the other show, she was holding the arrows pointing to me like that. So, whatever. She was doing that. And plus, she got an Aaron Carter serenade, and she got, did you stop it?
No.
What was that face for?
It's saying low battery.
Ugh. So, anyway, she got an Aaron Carter serenade, and she got a Howie D serenade. Well, we all know how I feel about Howie D, so I think it's fair that Logan picked Ashley.
It is fair.
It's fair. Right? Right.
It is.
Okay, so anyway, I was holding up my sign, and I was jumping up and down, and then Logan started talking. They said, oh, okay, we'll have Logan pick. Logan's going to pick, whatever. So then he started talking. He was like, so I saw this sign earlier, and he was kind of like walking to the other side of the stage when he said that, and I was like, oh man, he's gonna not pick me. He's gonna pick someone else. I was like, this is my last chance. Great. And then he like turned around and he came back to the center, and he was like, and it says Logan picked this Jersey girl, and I was like.
He said the sign was staring him in the face the whole night.
Yeah, he did. He said the sign was staring me in the face the whole night. So I don't know if that meant because Courtney held it up that one time or because I had it on the chair the whole night. Whatever. So he's like, and he said, it says Logan picked this Jersey girl. And I was like, I just dropped the sign, and I was kind of like, stop. I was like, no, you didn't just pick me. Oh my God. This is like, he's like, yeah, come on up. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. And like, I had in my mind, I had all these like I would practice, like, what would I do if I was ever picked for Worldwide Girl? And I was like, and I'd always think about this stuff and like completely forgot everything. So I'm like freaking out, and I'm like I have to get through the whole entire aisle because I'm in the very, very middle. So I'm, I'm trying to get through, and it's not easy, all those people. So I'm skirting through there, and I get all the way down to the end of the aisle, and I look down at my feet, and I was like, oh crap. It's like, I don't have any shoes on. so I kind of like looked back to my seat, and then I was like, oh well. And I ran up there, and I was so excited, and the security, I think it was Jimmy who was there. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. It probably was. He's like, you could slow down. And I was like, oh. I was like running up there. And so like I ran up the steps, and like Logan took my hand, and he asked me what my name was, and I told him that it was Ashley. And so, he announced it to everyone. And then Carlos immediately sees that I have no shoes on, and he's like, Ashley, where are your shoes? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, oh, they're down there somewhere. I had no idea. Like, they were piled up underneath all my crap that I had. Like, there was no way that I was going to be able to find them quickly. So, whatever. I hate shoes anyway. So Carlos was very concerned that I had no shoes on. And, like, he was like, oh, here's this stool that you could sit on so your feet don't get dirty. I was like, Carlos, I've had no shoes on all night. You really think I'm concerned about my feet getting dirty? I'll wash them later. Whatever. It'll be fine. But Kendall made a comment about, he said, I didn't hear this when I was on stage because I was just so in a panic. Or not a panic, but, like,
flustered.
I was just so, flustered. That's a good word. But I've watched numerous videos, and I have the audio and listen to it all the time. So, but Kendall said, oh, she's pulling a Brandon Boyd right now. And I didn't really make the connection to Incubus right away because, I mean, while I like Incubus, I don't know the names of the people in the band. And then I, like, looked it up. I was like, who is this Brandon Boyd person that he's talking about? So then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, my God, it's Incubus? That's, like, his favorite. So then I was like, of course I fangirled that he compared me to his favorite band. That was pretty cool. I mean, no, like, I would think of Kelly Clarkson. I'm like, well, Kelly Clarkson doesn't wear shoes on stage, so shoes are... So, like, that's like, what I would think of Kelly Clarkson. But anyway, so I was up there, and... I sat on the stool. Logan asked me, how many shows I've been to, because obviously he's seen me a bajillion times, and he asked me, so it's like, oh, this is number 12. And he's like, oh, are you having fun? I was like, oh, so much fun, spectacular, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I was just, it was so cool, and to be up there on the stage, like, when you first get up there, all the house lights are still on, but then when I sat down on the stool and they started giving their speech about the 61 episodes, or no, 61 songs, 74 episodes, is that right? Something like that. Whatever. That whole speech, if you've been to the show, you know what I'm talking about. When they started giving that speech, the house lights went out, and it was just like the regular lights on the stage. So it was like this, like the switch was pretty cool. I really like being on stage. Like when I got up there, I was like waving to everyone. I was like, hi. like I knew everyone there. In reality, I knew like maybe 5 people: Court, Kat, Tila, the tour girls, the girls that I met that were sitting next to me, Val and Amanda. And that's really it. That's all I knew. I might have known a few other people, but I didn't know where anyone was. I was just like waving to everyone. I was like, ah! I was so excited. Yeah. So that was really cool. And so then they sang worldwide, obviously. And like James was like rubbing my back the whole time, and I was like, oh my God, James is not rubbing my back. Is this happening right now? And then, one of, like, the first part of the song, when Kendall would normally sing You by My Side, he sang Ashley by My Side. And I was like, I looked over to him when that happened, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, did I just hear that correctly? I wasn't sure. I thought maybe I was making it up, but then afterwards, when I got back off stage and I asked Courtney, I was like, Court, did he sing Ashley? Did he sing my name? Did he sing Ashley by My Side? And she's like, yeah, that happened. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't imagine that. That's like, yeah. So, that part kills me. I can't. So yeah, the whole time was just so like there's no words. I like saying that part, like talking about that out loud, like just totally threw off my whole train of thought. Okay, what else did I want to say? Oh, I definitely started to cry when I was up there. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm crying. And I didn't want anyone to know that I was crying. Like, I didn't want to be one of those people who was like crying about it. I was just so happy. And so I kept touching my face. And like, I kept going like this, because I can't believe it. And I was like moving my fingers ever so slightly closer to my eyes. Like, I was so like trying to be like, you know, sneaky about it. And I was like dabbing the corner of my eye.
Such a dork.
I was like, I hope no one notices that I'm crying. And then like right when I like started doing that, like Logan looked at me and he's like, are you okay? And I was like, oh no. Like in my mind I'm thinking, I'm like, oh no, he knows I'm crying. Stop, you can't cry, you have to stop crying. But I think he was just asking, you know, whatever. So I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm great. Yeah, like, and like during part of the song, Logan held my hand and James held my hand, and like I said, James was rubbing my back. Ugh. Freaking James. He's so perfect. And then Carlos got up. You know the part. So Carlos gets up and comes walking around, and he's like right here next to me, and he's like singing right in my face, and I like he sounded so good because Carlos, his voice is amazing, like amazing, and he was like right here next to me, and like I had to like look away because it was like too intense. I was like, oh my gosh, Carlos. So he was like right there and singing to me, and I was like, oh my God, I can't. then he kissed my cheek. I was like, oh, Carlos. It was so sweet. It was like...
It was so cute.
It was like a nice... It was very nice. I was like, oh, Carlos. And then Kendall came over.
Kicked Carlos.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Well, see, this is what's going through my head. So, I didn't know that they were having, like, this, like, fight behind me because, you know, whatever. And I've seen Worldwide, like, a million times because I've been to a whole bunch of Big Time Rush concerts and I've watched it a whole bunch of times on whatever. So, I know how it works. I know that Carlos comes over and then I know that Kendall comes over. And... like, Kendall's usually, like, right there. I didn't know that they were doing that in the background. Like, I didn't know that Kendall was, like, kicking Carlos away or whatever. And, like, I was like, oh, my God, he's not coming. I was like, oh, my God, he really does hate me. He's not coming over. And, like, I look back, and I didn't see him. I, like, freaked out. And then, but then I saw him, and I was like, oh, my God. And he was there. And then, he, like, put his arm around me. And then he, like, then, what?
I said thanks to me.
Stop. Oh, yeah, Courtney, because when I was shuffling out to the, in the beginning, when I was shuffling out, Court was having a whole side conversation with Kendall. She was like, that's my sign! Bah! And then she held up the Kendall sign, the one that says Kendall picked this Jersey girl, and she's like, this one's her! So she told him, thanks, Court.
Hey.
Whatever.
He gave you extra love.
So anyway, so he came over, and he put his arm around me. I mean, he does this to everyone. And then, like... But
because of that, he sang your name.
He did, yeah, we'll say that. He sang my name. He doesn't sing everyone's name. So, he put his arm around me. And then when it came, then he kissed my cheek over on this side. But it wasn't like Carlos was so sweet about it. Like, Kendall was like, ugh.
Kendall cooties.
Shut up. So it was like, I don't know, like, you know, like, if you, like, it was like a whole bunch of little kisses. That's what it was. It was like, it wasn't like one, like, it wasn't like one kiss. It was like a whole bunch. And it was so, like, oh, my God. I was like, I just want to keep you here forever and ever. But then, so he kissed my cheek over here. And then I like to say, well, I don't like to say it, but I do say it. I say all the time that Kendall gave me cooties because right after that, like in the next couple days, I got pimples on my face. Oh, God. And they were like shaped like an oval, like it was really like right here where he kissed me. And there was like a whole bunch of them. And so I was like, oh my God, Kendall gave me cooties. But whatevs. I'll take Kendall cooties again if it means more cheek kisses. Court agrees. She's shaking her head. So yeah. I can't believe that happened. Oh my God. And then he left and I was sad. Oh, but when he left, I was like still freaking out about how he was kissing my cheek. And so I was all like, oh my God. And then like James has his like big, like, ta-da note there. And he had his hand out. I had no idea that he had his hand out. And so he has his hand out, and I'm like freaking out still about Kendall.
Ignore James.
Yeah, so then I'm like, I watched the video back, and I see him with his hand out, and I'm all like, whatever. And then like he put it out again, but I was like, oh, of course, he like took his hand back. Because I was not paying attention at all to him. And I feel so bad because I do love James. But the whole joke is the whole summer we're like, oh, ignore James. We don't mean to. We just happen to ignore him all the time. So I was like, oh, guys, here, look, I have the ultimate ignore James. And it's James, like, it's a screenshot of me, like, going like this or something. And James has his hand out, and I was like, so like I have this screenshot and I wrote on it, and I was like, I like drew arrows and stuff. I was like, James's hand is out to hold, like James wants to hold my hand, and then I'm like, here, me ignoring James, and like that was pretty funny. But then after when I realized that he had his hand out, it was like the most awkward hand holding ever because I stuck this arm out. Why would I do that? Like, so I like stick this hand out. I'm like reaching across to get to him. And then I was like, no, I like pulled my hand back and I switched it with this hand. And then like our fingers were all like weird. And it was just weird. It was like the most awkward hand holding experience ever. But we managed to fix it. It was okay. And James is so cute. He's like ridiculously good looking. And when he was singing, like, because, you know, James sits next to you when you're in the middle. When he was singing, like, right here close to, I was like, oh my God, he is just gorgeous. He is, like, perfect looking. Perfect. And I tell this to everyone, and people don't believe me. If you've never met James or seen them live in concert, I promise you that he is better looking in person than he is on TV. And Court's shaking her head. It's true.
Agree.
And I don't know how it's possible, but it's true. But he is. And it's like, oh my God.
It's insane.
Yeah. It just, James. So yeah, and then there's little Logie that was on this side, and he's so adorable. And like the whole time he was like, you know, he said things like, "Oh, are you okay? Having fun? Whatever." And he held my hand too, and then he gave me a cheek kiss at the end also. And that was really awesome. So I got cheek kisses from 3 out of 4 of them. Because James doesn't do it. He doesn't do it to anyone. So I'm not offended or anything. But then afterwards, I gave everyone big squeezes. And I still can't believe that it happened. Oh, I noticed when I was on stage, which is, I don't know why I'm going to tell you this, but yes, I'll get to that. I noticed on stage that there's a big piece of paper that said Minneapolis on it, like taped to the stage. I thought that was interesting. I don't know why I'm telling you, but just a little fun fact that they do, in fact, have the place that they are written really big on the stage. I guess that comes in handy. So anyway, I gave them all squeezes. I squeezed onto Logan first, and to Carlos, and to Kendall, and to James. And then Kendall handed me 2 picks. Like, he put them in my hand, and he told me to give them to my sister. So I gave her one of them, and I kept the other one. But, like, he placed them in my hand and, like, said, give it to your sister. It's like, oh,
I'm sure he meant to give one to you and one to me.
So I thought that was really sweet of him.
I wouldn't have been that mean and took both.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would have gave you one.
So, yeah, so that was, and then I went back to my seat, and I had to sit down. I couldn't stand up. I don't even remember